Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another first look video. Today we're going to be checking out Aggressors Ancient Rome, which is a early Roman 4X title. It's made by Kubat Software, who I am not at all familiar with. I wasn't able to really find anything on them at all. But it's published by Slytherin, who I have worked very closely with in the past. They publish a lot of the strategy games that I play on my channel. And so we're going to go ahead and dive on into this. As I said before, it's a 4X game set in the, I believe it starts in the Republic era of Rome. If you've played Total War Rome 2, it starts almost on the exact same date, and you'll see a lot of the same factions here. So let's jump on into a new game. You can either do a customized world, which is sort of like the more traditional 4X experience, where it'll create, I think, a randomized map for you. I haven't fiddled with it much. But you can also play in a more historical setting, and that's what we'll do today. Alright, so let's go through the factions really quickly. We have the Roman Republic, and if you hover the mouse over each one of these, it'll give you just a basic synopsis of the faction. So the Roman Republic is a strong and powerful state with good future perspectives. They're recommending it for beginners. You also have Carthage. Apparently this one's also good for beginners. We have the Ptolemaic Empire, which is going to be Egypt, more or less. Ptolemy and all that. Epirus, which is north of Athens and Sparta to the west of... I think that's roughly modern Albania, if I remember right. This is a more challenging faction. We, of course, have Sparta and Athens. We have the Galaici tribes, or Galaici tribes. Antigonid. I don't know who these guys are. I'm going to skip through some of them. They're just various tribal people. I actually do recognize this faction from Total War as well. Macedonia, obviously. This is post-Alexander the Great, so they're kind of on a decline. Seleucid, or Seleucid Empire. Pontus, Massilia, Bosporan, Pergamon, German tribes, Iberian tribes. Odrysian Kingdom, this is Thracians. Yeah, I believe. Or is it north of the Danube? Maybe they're Dacians. No, I'm pretty sure they're Thracians. Yeah, I think it's just south of the Danube River. Celtic tribes and Dacian tribes. Yeah, it must be separate then, because they don't have a separate or an individual Thracian tribe aside from that. So let's play as Rome, I guess. This is a Rome themed game after all. Actually, you know what? I like Sparta. Let's be Sparta. Cancel. There we go. I do have several complaints about the UI in this game, but so far that's been my only complaint, is just that things are very clunky. AI player difficulty, we can't set this because we're playing just on our own, so everybody is AI. Game difficulty, there's beginner, easy, medium, hard, heroic, and legendary. I'll just play on medium for now. Game speed is realistic. Let's look at the scenario info. I'm not going to fiddle with this stuff too much, but if you guys are interested in like what options you have, I'd like to show those off for you. This just is more historical backstory. Okay, so let's look at game options then. So it looks like you can toggle morale on or off, loyalty on or off, general morale. So I assume that's like your populace as a whole and not just the individual units. Supply management, I'm just going to leave all this on, but these are options that you can turn on or off. I'll leave game speed at realistic, but there's also slow, moderate, dynamic, and brisk. I'm assuming based on the order that realistic is the slowest. Maybe I should do moderate. Yeah, let's do moderate. For the sake of this video, since it's going to be a one-off video, I'd like to get through a little bit more of the game than whatever realistic is going to show us. Alright, so let's jump on in. Okay, so scenario begins. Following a series of local battles and smaller wars, the city-state of Rome brought the region of central Italy, later called Latium, under its control. To the north in the river valley were settled Celts who were excellent craftsmen. They're referring to Transalpine Gaul, which is basically what you would consider like northern modern Italy, but not part of the peninsula, still south of the Alps. If that makes any sense, I'll show you as soon as we get in there. It's easier to see on a map, obviously. Who were excellent craftsmen, warriors, and Rome's enemies. To the south, Samnites, allies of the Gauls, occupied a large section of today's central Italy. The conquest of their lands brought Rome into direct contact with southern Italy, the Magna Graecia, which had been heavily colonized by Greeks in the centuries before. The patchwork of Italian and Sicilian cultures and nations resulted in continuing conflicts and territorial changes with growing Roman influence over Italy. Rome, however, never meddled in the international affairs of the Mediterranean, nor did it exercise its military strength against any of the dominant Greek cultures, until now. In 282 BC, responding to the call for military assistance in a dispute of another city, Rome sent its fleet south and thus violated the fragile equilibrium of power. The peace is shattered and the war for dominance between Rome and other powers will decide the future of the Mediterranean. Okay, so this starts in 282. Sparta. Right. So Sparta is a small region in the southernmost tip of Greece. Once a powerful nation, Sparta lost large portions of its territory along with its slave labor and wealth. The kingdom was reduced to a second-rate power. Sparta faces a slow political decline, but it still maintains a well-trained army. The growing hostility of the Antigonid Empire and Epirus might soon turn into a fight for survival. Sparta needs to find strong allies to withstand the expansive plans of its neighbors. The future of the nation is now in your hands. Honor the vision of the ancestors to continue in their great deeds. Your predecessor has already laid out some plans called objectives that can be found, excuse me, under this icon. So it's like a bullseye with arrows in it. Below or in the state menu, follow in his steps and fulfill your destiny. Okay. Yeah, so Total War Rome 2 starts in 276 with Rome at war with Carthage. So I think the beginning of the First Punic War. This is set a little bit earlier than that and covers some of the events that led to that whole situation. So here we are in Sparta. Again, the game is 4X with a gridded map. They are not hexes though, they are squares. So in terms of warfare and stuff, things are a bit more limited because you can't arrange stuff nearly as, I guess, close together as you could with like a Civ-style hex system. But that's okay. So, what do we have? What do we got here? We have a settler. We have some armies. By the way, the mouse controls are really odd. So right click effectively clears whatever order you have, and left click does everything. So be very careful when you're left clicking. I found myself misclicking a lot because I'm used to movement orders being on the right mouse and selecting being on the left, but now everything is on the left. So make sure, like for example, if we click on this guy, before you try to select anything else, make sure you right click off of it and then select it. Building is also a bit weird here. So you can see if I click on Sparta itself, it doesn't really give me any options. It doesn't open like a town menu or anything like that. If I wanted to recruit somebody, what I need to do is actually click. You can see if my mouse goes over the city, I get like a Corinthian helmet with a plus sign on it. So if I click on that, I can select a unit type to recruit. Right now we only have Peltis available. Now these guys don't really look like Peltis to me. They're not carrying Pelta, first of all, which is the typical shield you would see a Peltis carry. It's more or less a round shield, but it wouldn't have a boss in the center like this, and it generally has like a bite taken out of it. And they would be carrying javelins and a short sword traditionally, not... I mean, that's a fairly decent sized spear, although a Doru that like a hoplite would carry is generally taller than the man, so it would be up here somewhere. So I guess that could be a javelin. Anyways, they're considering these basic infantry units, which I guess is historically arguable. At this time, it would have been... Well, this is post-Alexander, so technically hoplites are even a bit dated at this point. Maybe, I don't know. But in Alexander's army, it would have been phalangites, it would have been pikemen, with or Sarisiman, if you're being more accurate. So, yeah. Whoops. Let's march these guys up here toward our border with Athens. Actually, can we join these armies together? I'll just leave you there. So if I click on this, I can recruit here as well. I can recruit settlers there. In Sparta, I can only recruit Peltis. Okay. And I had a settler. I also have a navy. So where do I want to settle? I could settle here. Is it trying to guide me there? Is that what that blue is? I think so. I'd kind of rather settle on the mainland, though. Like, that would give me a nice port right there. And it would be fairly defensible. Plus, I don't know how, like, resources work. But if we're adjacent with this, does it give us, like, a bonus to getting it? Or can we not get it until we're adjacent? I think I'd rather be there. Well, I can always make another settler, so I think the game looks to be coaxing me over here. Let's do this. I don't know historically what would be in this area, so let's just go with the random name they've given us, Itanos. And my navy, I think we're just gonna put in port over here. Okay. So I still have some Peltis to move around. I'm probably just going to leave them there, though, because I feel like Athens might be our first conflict. Let's see. Let's go to the objectives window. So, are they going to show me an objective? Here we go. Ptolemaic allies. Sparta was once a military leader of the Greeks, but those times have passed. It's necessary to forge new, strong, reliable alliances, and the Ptolemaic dynasty might be the right partner. So, again, they're referring to the Greek successor state in Egypt. Ptolemy was one of Alexander's companions, and after Alexander died, his empire got, split up between all of his generals. And so Ptolemy got Egypt and founded a dynasty there. Famously, Cleopatra was a member of that dynasty. It was very heavily inbred too, which is kind of weird. The king and queen were always brother and sister. It was very odd. Roman friendship. Sparta is a relatively small country, and establishing close relations with powerful states like the Roman Republic can raise its status and discourage possible aggressive plans of other nations. Okay, so we need to ally with Egypt, at least become friendlier with the Romans. Sparta once had an army that could stand against the most formidable enemies, but today we only have a handful of soldiers. We should build a great hoplite army as it once used to be. Yeah, it'd be nice to have hoplites. Again, I think they should really be the default unit, even though this is a bit late for that. Paved roads and conquest of Epirus. Okay. Yeah, it's very much in line with, if you play Sparta in Total War Rome 2, your goals are very similar. Build up your army, try to befriend the Romans. I don't know that there's any goal to interact with Egypt, but it's one of the easier factions to interact with early on. You start with a very strong relationship with them. And you start out at war with Epirus, specifically Pyrrhus of Epirus, who is famous for his Pyrrhic victories against Rome. Alright, let's go to the state window and look at this. This is where you're going to do a lot of the managing stuff. And again, I wish that this was a little bit better arranged. I feel like I shouldn't need to go into a menu just to get some of these options. Like, maybe they should be arrayed down here or something, or when you click on your capital, for example, is how it works in a lot of other games. But foreign relations, we can access from the map, but also from here. Let's go to the Ptolemaic Empire first. And let's see. No ongoing conversations. Do we have any treaties with them? I don't know what I just did. Close. Okay. Let's leave that alone. Demand peace cancellation from another country. Cancel treaty. Alter treaty. Sign confederation. Sign federation. Sign annexation. Trade is not like you would expect in Total War, more like you would probably find in... Well, even in Civ, I think you have more trade options. It's been a while since I've played Civ, though. We don't have a trade route, so we can't do this anyways, but I think it's just direct trade of resources. So it's not like a trade agreement. We both get a little bit of money out of it. It's like I need more coal and you have plenty of it, but you need stone, so let's swap. It's more like that. Okay, so what can I do with these guys? I didn't really see a lot of options there. Display treaties. Okay, defense pact. Let's try that. Can we get a defense pact? No. Can we create one? There we go. So alter treaty. Treaty change was offered. I guess we have to wait. I don't want to confederate with them, at least not yet. Maybe we will want to later. Also, I don't like that I have to keep going back to this menu to talk to other people. It'd be nice if it kind of stayed there. Right, so let's try the same here. Let's offer a... What is Brothers in Arms? So is this like a military alliance and that's like a defensive alliance? I'm using Total War as a reference here a lot, if you haven't picked up on that. So ally enters into war with every country that has declared war on you. Yeah, so this is effectively a defensive alliance and this is an offensive one. Map exchange, homeland movement. Let's... Well, I don't have the option to change these. Okay. Good to know. Declare war. Is there anything here? Sign treaty. Homeland movement, map exchange. Should we do something like this? Maybe just kind of exchange information with one another and see where that goes. And we do need to do some research. I believe that's in here as well. Let's see. Research, not researching. Okay, so what can we research? Weapon skills, assault. That's our only option right now. Settler, blah, blah. Okay, so we can pan this way. Oh, no, we have some other options down here. Let's see. We can research monarchy, shipyards, stables for horses. That's not very Spartan. I'm looking at where our hoplites are. Or hoplites. I've always heard it as hoplite, and so I've always said it that way, but then a few games I've played, including Total War Rome 2, they call them hoplites, and I'm wondering if that's more correct. It sounds more correct, but it's so ingrained at this point that I can't say it any other way. If I'm not doing it consciously, I'll end up just reverting back. Pathfinder. I didn't see hoplites. How far down could they possibly be? No, I must have passed them. Anyways, let's start with assault. Increased attack strength. You know what? Maybe that's not the best idea. Monarchy. Let's see. Patriot. Okay. We already have Peltists, clearly. Galley. Pathfinder. Maybe we need to do more research first, because some of these are unknown, so it's possible that we just haven't discovered it yet. Monarchy. Increases production of coal, stones, and iron, but generation of knowledge points and population growth drops slightly. Let's research monarch. You know what? No. Let's do the Spartan thing and put military might first. Let's just make our guys a little bit stronger. Oh, okay. So I can invest more resources to make this finish more quickly, or I can do less and basically accept the full time there. So what are these numbers? This is clearly what we're spending, but is this how much I'd have left over? Yeah, it looks like it. But that's not really factoring in my income. You know what? That's fine. Let's spend it. Let's knock this out fast. Is there any other options we need to look at here? We're currently in aristocracy. So we can become a despotism. In comparison to aristocracy, it increases iron and citizens, but negatively affects knowledge and food. So it looks like government types are going to mostly affect resources. Let's see. Weapon skills, capital Sparta, we can change that. State decisions. Condition not fulfilled. I would wager that's because we don't have the right government type. Are available when happiness is low and when there's enough resources and military support. Huh, okay, maybe we can do that. Military reform. Only when army morale is low. Games. I think we need to wait 5 years, perhaps? Well, none of these options are available, so we'll just kind of check in on this periodically and see if any of them become available, and then we'll focus more on that. Strategic overview. This is just a map, and... okay, does it just show me my resources and whatnot? Yeah, it looks like it. I thought strategic was referring more to military affairs, but no, this is strategic in the broader sense. Resources, yeah, let's skip that and we'll just go ahead and advance our turn. I really do like the character portraits. I like the art style overall. But I do, again, have some issues with the UI. It's just a bit rough overall. So I queued up those movements. They went ahead and took care of them already. Assault is done. It looks like that unlocked research. Sorry, religion. So we need to choose a new project. We can do temples. Blacksmith. We still don't know what that one is. I'm willing to bet that this is probably hoplites right here, because it goes down to elite core. Whoops. So I would think we'd need the basic stuff first, which would be the hoplites. I'd really like to get them. I don't know what we need to do first to unlock that. It looks like this will... let's see, accelerates population growth in cities. Maybe we should just stick with the more basic stuff first, but I really want proper Spartan hoplites. Do I want to spend all this? It looks like we recovered a pretty good amount of the resources we spent last time. So I'm willing to speed these along, especially since I'm not super interested in them. Treaty offer was rejected by Rome. They're not interested in sharing what we had offered. Let's see if maybe... let's just try these. Maybe map exchange was too much. Did we get an answer from... will you cancel peace with Macedonia because of the demand from them? No, I won't. No, I won't. Let's see. I've been reading this backwards. So I thought the bar being more full meant we were closer. It looks like we want it to be somewhere in the middle. That's an interesting mechanic, actually. So if we're too far to the left, it becomes red again. And that means that they resent us, I think, because we're too powerful over them. But if we're... it looks like anywhere from the center over to the right, they just don't have enough respect for us. So somewhere in the middle here is the sweet spot. Or I guess not the middle, somewhere around like the 1/4 mark. But it doesn't seem like they're too keen on us right now. I don't have too much interest in that faction anyways. Treaty change offer was rejected by the Ptolemaic Empire. I think we were a little bit overzealous there. Let's try to maybe do something a little bit less than a full-on alliance. Let's just do those again. We'll start with the basic stuff. Okay, so my Peltis are here. I don't know what we should really be doing. It wanted me to conquer Epirus, who is, I believe, up here. It could be further north than that. It doesn't tell you who is where. But I can't just march through Athenian territory, or they're probably going to declare war on me. So I think what I need to do is sail my ship around to here. No? Oh, I clicked right mouse instead of left mouse. Yeah, we're going to sail our ship around. We'll load our Peltis in there. And then maybe try to sail up and attack. That might be too early. We might not be ready for this, but it's just a thought. Oh, I can recruit hoplites here. Did they just come in automatically? No. Okay, so I can only do it there. Well, I'm going to do it for sure. What do I have to spend? It looks like gold, population, and... Is that supposed to be bronze? I would wager bronze. They're wearing a lot of bronze. It's not going to show me right now. Yeah, do it. I want them. Okay. And what's it want me to do now? It wants me to move these guys? No, I'll leave them there. I think if Athens attacks us, it'll probably be across land through here. And that forest, I am willing to bet, is a better defensive place to confront them. So, should we build dirt roads? Yeah, I guess. And we'll make sure to link our cities together. Let's go ahead and grab you. Okay, now I can unload the troops. I can unload them there. I can only do one at a time, though. That's going to make any sort of military landing really difficult. So I can unload there? Oh, I can unload here, too. Okay, just, yeah, drop them off there. And I need you to sail over here and pick up my hoplite, if you don't mind. If we're going to deploy any troops, it should probably be these guys. You just hang out there. Can I afford to make more? I should probably keep an eye on this. So, it looks like we are doing alright with most of these resources. Interesting. So, last turn resources was 18.4. We're down 1.33 from that. But it looks like we made a surplus of 10.8, because it says plus 10.8, not minus 10.8, so that should be surplus, not loss. So how does that work exactly? Is that saying that we're producing 10.8 but we're using, what would that be, like 11 point, maybe 12.1 or something? Is that what they're trying to imply there? It's kind of difficult to determine what exactly they're saying. So there we just made 1.1 all the way across, but we didn't use any wood as far as I know. So maybe that's why. Yeah, I think what that's trying to say there is that we produced 10.8 units of food, and then we used 12.1, so we had a net loss of 1.3. That's what I think they're trying to say there, but it's difficult to say. Because surplus doesn't really imply raw production to me. Surplus implies that we produce some, we use some, and the surplus is what was left. But that's not, I think, what they're saying here. So I wonder if that's like a translational thing, or maybe I'm just reading into it incorrectly. Anyways, we still have research going on. We've tried to... You know what, let's try again with the Romans. I don't know why I was panning over there. Let's see what else we can offer. Let's try trade routes. Let's try that, because that seems to be, with the factions that we have treaties with, that seems to be one of the ones that we consistently start with. Homeland movement, I think, is another, but let's start with the trade routes first and see where that goes. I think we already had that with the Athenians, if I recall. No. Let's offer them then. I think they, declined last time, but we'll just keep throwing it at them until they accept. And then I believe we had that with the Egyptians. Yeah. So what can we do then? There really doesn't seem to be like one thing. Like, I feel like map exchange should be pretty straightforward. Maybe let's try tile visibility. We'll just do that one, because the other time we offered it in conjunction with something else. Alright, we'll go ahead and advance. See, like, that guy in the red with the bronze breastplate looks pretty Roman. We got Macedonians and Romans fighting here. I think they're Macedonians. No. No, this is this Pergamon? Those are the Adresians right there, the axe. Okay, so they've rejected that as well. Rejected. And rejected. So I'm just going to stop offering treaties and I'll wait for them to offer stuff. Will you cancel peace with Macedonia? So the Adresians want me to go to war with Macedonia. No, I won't do that. I like how it's not declaring war, it's canceling peace. They offered my... Or they declined my peace offer. Okay, so who was that? That was Pergamon, right? No, that was Macedonia. Okay. Can we just not see all of their territory? I would think that they would have a little bit more land this way. More west, but I guess not. Okay, well, I need you, Mr. Boat, to come grab my hoplite, so please come here. Oh, okay, I've already got it queued up. It won't let me do it again. You should be with that unit. It looks like you're done with the roads there, so why don't you come on down to here and build some roads? I should make sure that... Okay, so it costs wood and a bit of... Is that stone? Yeah, stone. Wood and stone. Okay, let's check our food supply again. Still in the negative. We are still losing food, but not nearly as bad. So it looks like our production is starting to keep up. But we'll need to obviously augment that, otherwise we're not going to be able to build up our army at all. And then in Sparta, I can only make peltists. I'd like more hoplites, but I can only train them here, and that's really inconvenient, and they are quite costly. Do you have like an upkeep? Not going to tell me? Oh, we just fortified him. Whoops. That's good to know, though. I guess we could fortify you guys here. Yeah, let's do that. No. Just stay fortified there in case Athens gets any ideas. I don't think there's really much else for us to do, though. Oh, I can tell them to forage as well. That's cool. Well, let's just keep moving. I'd like to get some combat in, but I don't know if we're going to be able to squeeze it in before the end of the episode. I'm going to try to send some hoplites up there and attack Epirus, and if they end up dying, they end up dying. It seems like it's going to be quite difficult to launch like naval invasions in this, at least without significant naval technology. Obviously, there's bigger boats, but this boat can only carry one. Oh, nice, a wood stockpile. So yeah, until you have those larger boats, I would wager that this is not a very practical way to go about waging war. But it's the only option we've got right now, so we'll stick with it. I'm going to advance a few turns off camera because we're probably just going to be... God damn it. See, lots of misclicks. We're going to be doing a lot of... No, I want the settler. Okay, I have the settler. Come to here, please, settler. I can't select him and move him. There we go. Move to there, please. Continue to build me roads. And yeah, I'm going to advance a few turns until we land up there so that we can actually get some combat in. Otherwise, you know, this video will probably come to an end without it. Alright, research is done. So, let's look at what our other options are. I think monarchy next. We have everything in between. That's 6 turns, so that's fairly quick. Although... Hold on, what resources did that benefit again? Basically everything except for knowledge points and population. I don't know if that's a good idea yet. Let's do shipbuilding. Because clearly the ships that we have are not sufficient for any sort of naval transfer of troops. So this, I think, is the best way to go about it. That's going to cost me all my research, so let's wait the full 9. We can go a little bit further, actually, because my research points have actually recovered pretty well since spending them last time. This seems doable. No, I won't do that. I'm already at war with plenty of factions. I don't need to be at war with more. Pontus is offering to exchange city and tile visibility. I'm okay with that. We'll get a little bit more of the map visible to us. Looks like the Agressors are offering the same and trade routes opening. I'll gladly do that. They're actually a little bit more fond of me than the other factions we've been dealing with. Let's see if we can maybe do like a map exchange. See if they're willing to accept that. Knowledge points gained, cool. Alright, so let's continue moving our ship along. We'll just have to wait. So I guess I'll cut back again and just continue doing what I'm doing here. So the Romans want to trade me 1 citizen for 1 unit of food over 6 turns. I'm going to accept this. I'm not too concerned with the overall results because, again, this is just a one-off episode, so long term this may or may not be a good idea, but I know that, you know what, we actually don't need this. Never mind. I'm not going to do it. I'd rather have the people. No, sorry, Carthage. Alright, so we're attacking the Epirus Peltis with our... Oh, we were defeated with our Spartan hoplites. Apparently didn't go very well for us. So we deployed 10,000 soldiers of elite quality. Again, we were attacking Peltis. They were on the defensive. I guess because it was a naval assault, I probably should have landed first. Yeah, we took a lot of casualties there. Okay, well, lesson learned. I'll land them next time and attack from the adjacent tile, I guess, and try that. So I just had my Spartan hoplites attack, I think it was like a stone quarry or something. We're able to destroy it, and in doing oh yeah, stone quarry, and in doing so we were able to make landfall. I don't think they can do anything else this turn, no, so we'll have to advance across land to attack there. However, we are very much out of time, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. If you guys would like to see more, I'd be happy to keep playing, though. I can't tell if there's a learning curve to the game or if the UI is just that bad. But the game is enjoyable if you're able to get around that. It is a pretty traditional 4X experience, so if you like 4X games, you'll probably enjoy this one if you can get past the sometimes clunky UI. If not, you might not have much on offer here for you. If you find this particular period interesting, you obviously have Total War Rome 2, which is pretty much the exact same setting with the exact same factions, a little bit more action, and for whatever reason, Creative Assembly has been putting out a lot of new content for that game, even though it's many years old at this point. So yeah, if you're more of like a 4X player, then you've got this. If you want a little bit more action, you've got Total War Rome 2. But yeah, I am enjoying it, I think. So if you guys want me to keep going, I'd be happy to turn this into a proper Let's Play. But otherwise, hopefully this was enough to kind of let you guys know whether this might be something that you're interested in or not. Again, I have no idea who the developer is. I could not find anything about them. But Slytherin has a great track record so far. Many of the games I play on my channel are published by them, so I trust them and I do work closely with them often. So, I don't feel remiss in recommending this game. Although, again, the UI could use some serious work. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Aggressors with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for my next video.